Today in building services, we are going to see about the water and the electricity. That is how water is used as the source to produce the electricity. So by using water as a source of the electricity, so the hydroelectric power plant is being used. So the hydroelectric power plant utilizes the potential source of water stored in a dam or any other reservoirs. So water in the dam or the reservoir will act as the source of energy in order to run the turbine and also to produce the electricity by using the generator which is connected to the turbine. This is the layout of the hydroelectric power plant. It consists of the reservoir, dam, Suez gate, pressure tunnel, surge tank, penstock, inlet wall, turbine, draft tube, and the generator room, step-up transformer, powerhouse, and the control room, transmission line, and the transmission tower. Reservoir is nothing but that is the water collected in the catchment area during the heavy rain is stored in the reservoir. The surface level of the water in the reservoir is called as the head race. Dam is nothing but the wall which is constructed across the flow of water in the river. The water from the dam will be flowing through the pressure tunnel to the surge tank. So pressure tunnel is the closed conduct. So in order to control the flow in the pressure tunnel, the Suez gate is used. The purpose of the surge tank is that when the water is flowing through the penstock into the turbine, when the load in the turbine is reduced, there will be a sudden rise in the pressure. So when there is a sudden rise, the water will start to reverse flow into the through the penstock into the surge tank. So penstock is nothing but the closed conduit which is made up of the closed pipe or the closed conduit which is made up of the steel or the reinforced concrete. In order to control the flow of water from the surge tank to the turbine, inlet valve is used. When the water is passed into the turbine, it start rotating the turbine and produce a mechanical energy. So the water which is coming out from the turbine will be passing through the draft tube. The level of water which is coming out from the draft tube is called as the tail race. So when the turbine is rotating, the mechanical energy is produced. Then with the help of the generator, that mechanical energy will be converted into the electrical energy. So the setup transformer is nothing but to increase the voltage which is produced from the generator. The setup transformer is used. So powerhouse or the control room is nothing but in order to control the transformers, turbines, and generators. It consists of all the controls. Then the power generator will be that is voltage generator will be increased using a step-up transformer, and it will be sent through the transmission line to the transmission tower. This is the layout of the hydroelectric power plants. So these are the components of the hydroelectric power plants. That is reservoir, water collected from the catchment area during heavy rain is stored in the reservoir. The function of the reservoir is to provide a continuous supply of water to the plant. Water surface in the reservoir is termed as the head race. Dam is the wall constructed across the flow of water in the river to create a reservoir on an upstream side. The water level in the dam provides the working head for the power plant. Next is about the pressure tunnel. It is a closed conduit which carries water from the reservoir to the surge tank. The flow of water in the pressure tunnel is controlled by the Suez gate. Then surge tank. When the load on the turbine is reduced, then there will be a sudden rise in the pressure due to backflow of the water in the penstock, which is called as the water hammer. The water hammer will damage the penstock and it needs to be avoided. Hence, in order to release the sudden increase in pressure, the surge tank is constructed in between the dam and the powerhouse. Next is the penstock. This is a closed conduit made up of the reinforced concrete pipes or the steel used to carry water from the surge tank to the turbines. The flow of water in the turbine is controlled by the inlet valve. Then a turbine, there are several types of turbines such as the Francis turbine, Pelton turbines, and Kaplan turbines, which are most commonly used. The water that flows in the turbine makes it to rotate, thereby the potential energy of the water is converted into mechanical energy. The generator, which is fixed to the turbine, converts the mechanical energy into the electrical energy. Next is about the draft tube. It is a pipe which varies uniformly in diameter and is connected to the turbine to discharge the water that comes out of the turbine. It ensures the position of the turbine above the tail race. Tail race, it is the path that leads the water from the draft tube to the river. The level of the surface of water in this path is called as the tail race. Next is the step-up transformer. The function of the step-up transformer is to raise the voltage generator before transmitting it to the consumers. Next is a powerhouse. It is a room that houses the turbines, generators, transformers and other control equipments. These are the components of the hydroelectric power plants. Next is about the classification of the hydroelectric power plants, that is operating head water levels in meters and type of power plants and type of turbine used. When the operating head water level in meters is above 70, high head, which is the Pelton turbine, is used. When it is between 15 to 70, medium head Francis turbine is used. When it is less than 15, low head Francis or the Kaplan turbine may be used. Next is about the advantages. Water is the cheap and renewable source of energy, whereas the fuel used in other plants will be expensive and exhaustible. So water will be the cheap, so it can be widely used as a source to produce the mechanical energy, which will be converted into the electrical energy. There is no air pollution, radiation hazards as disposal problems. Life of this plant is about 2 centuries, whereas other plants would serve 3 to 4 decades only. Then the maintenance cost will be less. Next is about the disadvantages of the hydroelectric power plants. Hydroelectric power plants cannot be located at the desired place near the load center, whereas other plants can be located. Power produced depends upon the water availability, and initial cost is high and time taken for the erection of the plants is more. Thank you. Next is the other type of the power plant, which uses the water as the source to produce the electricity, that is tidal power plants. So tidal or the wave is the periodic rise or fall of water level of the sea. So tide occurs due to the attraction of sea water by the moon. When the water is above the mean sea level, it is called as the flood tide, and when the water is below the level of the mean sea level, it is called as the ebb tide. So the tide possesses the large amount of potential energy which is used for the power generation. This is the layout of the tidal power plant. So one is the high tide and the other one is the low tide. So in between the high tide region, so the dam is constructed in between, and other side will be the tidal basin. So similarly in the low tide region, so other side, one side will be the sea level, which is the low tide region, and the dam will be constructed, which consists of the turbine and the generator, and the other side will be the tidal basin. Working of it is during the high tide, water flows from the sea to the basin, which rotates the turbine fixed with the generator and produces the power. Similarly, during the low tide, the reverse flow of water takes place, which also rotates the turbine and produces the power. The power generation stops only when the water level in the sea and the basin are same. This is the working of the tidal power plants. Next is about the advantages and the disadvantages. So advantages, it is also free from pollution but does not depend upon the rain when compared to the hydroelectric power plants. Then it improves the possibility of fish farming in the tidal basins. Disadvantages is that it can be developed only at the unique site on the base, similar to hydroelectric power plants. The power generator must be transmitted to the long distance, leading to transmission cost and the transmission losses, and navigation is obstructed. Thank you.